Hey guys, it's Kalamos Arts, and today we're diving into the art of creating that perfect attention-grabbing title for your masterpiece. So if you're struggling with naming your book, or story, or screenplay, you're in the right place. Let's get started. First things first, why do book titles matter so much? Well, your title is the first thing readers notice. It's the gateway to your story, and a compelling title can make the difference between someone picking up your book or moving on. I've heard so many people say, don't judge a book by its cover, but nobody says, don't judge a book by its title, because you can totally judge a book by its title. A title for me is a huge hit or miss, so how do we craft that irresistible one? Here are some of my favorite titles. Each of these are a completely different style, but they all work. First, we have the book You. Obviously, this title is a little off putting at first, it's a bit confusing, but honestly, the title is perfect for this book if you've read it. Not to give too much away, but it is about a stalker, and a lot of the book is addressed to you, which refers to another character in the story. I think this is so clever, and also seeing a title like this, which caters so much to the story, makes you stop and think. If I was in a bookstore just walking around and I saw a title like this, I would definitely stop and pick up the book, at least to just see what it's about. And that is the way you trap your readers. I think 90% of the time, me stopping and just checking something out in a bookstore is what leads me to then purchase the book, read it, and make it my new personality for the next few months. Next, we have a more straight to the point title. This is actually my favorite middle grade book, The School for Good and Evil. Titles like this already are intriguing since it plays on a lot of world building, so these types of titles work really well with fantasy stories. Think about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Hunger Games. It already gives the readers a huge glance into your story, so you've done your job. The third is another really great middle grade book. This one is called The Tale of Emily Winsnap. As we can see on the cover, the story centers around a mermaid. So the wordplay on tail versus tale is super clever, and I just love titles like this. I think your title reveals a lot about your writing style and also the tone of your story. So from reading a book cover like this, you can probably infer that the style will be more cheerful, clever, sarcastic, and not that serious. So creating the perfect title. Step one is to understand your genre. Different genres have different expectations when it comes to titles. A mystery novel might benefit from a title that sparks curiosity, while a romance novel might lean towards something more emotional. Something I definitely recommend researching is the top titles in your genre for inspiration. Step two is to capture the essence of your book. Your title should give potential readers a glimpse into the soul of your story. Think about the central theme, the tone, and the emotions you want to evoke. Let your title be a sneak peek into the world you've created. And step three is to avoid cliches like the plague. You want your title to stand out, not blend in. Stay away from overused phrases or tropes that might make your book seem generic. Be unique. And in terms of titles, it's always good to take a risk. You also want to make it memorable. A memorable title lingers in the reader's mind. Try using alliteration, strong imagery, or even a bit of wordplay. The goal is to have your title pop up in someone's thoughts long after they've heard it. You'll also need to test it out. Run your title by friends, writing groups, or beta readers. Get feedback on what works and what doesn't. Does it grab attention? Does it accurately represent your story? Use this feedback to refine your title. So, this is my book. The title is The Undertow of Healing, which is a wordplay on the undertow in relation to the ocean and the work it takes to get to a healing point. My story starts off with a character drowning in the ocean, which kind of propels the plot and my main character's long healing journey. It's very summary and obviously has a lot to do with water. When I was in the manuscript process, I had absolutely no clue about what I was going to title it. When submitting my manuscript to a publishing press, I needed to have a title, so I just gave it a very simple, not very great title that I wasn't sure I would use. I'm not going to say it because I really don't like it and it's kind of embarrassing, but I knew that I wanted a book title that I felt was appropriate and I would be proud of. So I did a lot of research on other books titles in my genre. I looked through the dictionary and thesaurus a lot, which I also heavily recommend because there are definitely some hidden gems in there. But when I figured out the wordplay with Undertow, everything kind of just came together and I wouldn't have named my book anything else. Crafting the perfect title is an art, but with a little creativity and consideration, you can find the one that perfectly encapsulates your literary creation. Remember, your title is the first impression, so make it count. Good luck writing!